So if you don't learn how to protect your pretty in the workplace, girl, you're going to be exploited. Not maybe, not sometimes, always. Because beauty in professional spaces is like a double-edged sword. It opens doors, but it also paints a target on your back, right? I will never forget my first job out of college. I walked in so excited, overly qualified, but from day one, my appearance became the focus. Comments about, oh, she must have gotten hired to brighten up the office. Jokes about being the distraction because I had on a nice outfit. And then suddenly, I realized that I was not there to just prove my skills. I was fighting to feel like I belonged. And that is the reality for so many pretty women. You are overqualified, yet under-recognized. You're praised for the way that you look, but you're questioned for the way that you think. And every win that you achieve gets watered down with whispers of favoritism and how'd she get here and blah, 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 blah. And I'm here to tell you that it's not in your head. There's literally research on this. It's called beauty bias and it's real. It's a paradox. Like on one hand, attractive people are often seen as more competent, but for women, that advantage can quickly backfire. You're literally sexualized, you're underestimated, and sometimes you're even treated like you've had everything handed to you. This shows up in three ways. One is the competence discount. No matter how good you are, people will assume that your success is tied to your looks and not your ability. Two, the projection problem. Girl, male workers project desire all day, every day. And your female coworkers will chime in too. They'll project envy. So you're navigating resentment from both sides. And three, the boundary breach. Colleagues will literally feel entitled to comment on your body, your outfit, even your personal life, things that have nothing to do with the actual work that you all are here to do. And babe, I'm telling you, if you do not address this, it will become death by 1,000 cuts. You will start doubting yourself. You will start overcompensating by working harder, and slowly you will burn out. And quite frankly, I don't want that for you. I once was talking to a girlie who told me that her boss would never compliment her performance directly, only her energy or her presence. Another woman too, she actually admitted that she wore baggy clothes to avoid people complimenting on the nice outfits that she paid good money to wear. And I've even also heard on a Reddit forum that a girl one time has literally toned down her makeup so she wouldn't outshine her coworkers. So literally think about how insane this is. I want you to know that you are not alone, and it's just a thing in society where we're just not able to talk about it enough. That a lot of women in workplaces dim their look. They change how their appearance is just to avoid being punished for literally existing. For literally saying, you know what, I want to look cute today. I want to put on a nice outfit. I want to get my hair done. There are a lot of women who are not doing that to avoid pretty punishment. And maybe you felt it too, which is why you probably clicked on the video. Maybe you have sat in a meeting, you have shared an idea and had it ignored, only to hear like somebody else repeat that same idea and get praise. Maybe you have been told that you're too much when you speak with authority, but not enough if you sit quietly. Maybe you've been excluded from after work events because your presence makes someone feel insecure. Like the list will literally go on. This is the invisible tax of being a pretty woman at work. So there's another concept that you need to know: role incongruity. It's a psychological term, but basically it means that society has rigid expectations for how women should behave. And pretty women face an even harsher version. You're expected to be agreeable, likable, and non-threatening. But in the workplace, leadership requires confidence, it requires assertiveness and authority. So when you step into power as a conventionally attractive person, people don't just resist, you're punished. And if you shrink yourself to be liked, you're literally overlooked for the job that you want. So either way, girl, you're going to be paying for it if you don't know how to protect yourself. So this is why so many talented women stall in their careers, not because they aren't good enough, but because they're managing these invisible battles that no one makes them feel safe enough to talk about. So here's the truth that I need you to accept. You cannot win a game that was designed for you to lose, but you can rewrite the rules that you play by. And that starts by naming the bias. So when you understand that your struggles aren't about you being too sensitive or overreacting, but about systemic bias, you stop blaming yourself and you stop carrying shame for other people's projections. And then you will start building armor, not by hardening your heart. We don't do that. But by setting boundaries so sharp that disrespect has no place to land in your world. This is where workplace boundary reset rituals come in. Babe, once a month, sit down and ask yourself 3 questions. Where did I feel disrespected at work this month? What boundary would have protected me in that moment? And then 3, how can I communicate or embody that boundary moving forward? Maybe it's deciding that you won't laugh it off. Maybe when the inappropriates come through, you speak up and say that, hey, it's not okay for you to say that. Or maybe it's creating a script for shutting down interruptions in meetings. And maybe it's drawing a hard line between your work persona and your social persona. The key is consistency, babe. Boundaries are not a one-time announcement. They're a lifestyle. You have to continue to teach people how to treat you and handle you. So I want you to really think about this. Think about how much exhaustion at work comes from you just doing your job and how much comes from managing everyone's expectations of your beauty. Because if it's the latter, babe, I'm sitting here to tell you that you're being punished for being pretty. And for most of us, that's our reality. Then all of a sudden, you're not just an employee, you're a shield. And shields get heavy. Shields can wear you down. You weren't born to carry everyone else's insecurities. So when you stop carrying those insecurities, everything will change. You will show up lighter. You can reclaim your confidence and you can perform at the level that you're actually capable of instead of wasting energy managing literal nonsense. So, girly, at the end of the day, work is never just work for pretty women. It's politics, it's performance, it's survival. But the more that you name it, the less power that it has over you. And the more that you'll reset your boundaries and the less that you'll bleed for these systems that were not set up to protect you. So babe, if you don't remember anything else I said today, protect your pretty. And protecting your pretty at work is not about being cold or grounded. It's about refusing to shrink for anyone's comfort. It's about refusing to apologize for taking up space that you have already earned.